Imagine buying a brand new, top-of-the-line smart fridge. The kind you see in tech reviews, the ones that promise to make your life easier. Mine was a sleek, stainless steel monolith, a centerpiece for my newly renovated kitchen. It could order groceries, suggest recipes, even play music. I was thrilled. For the first week it was a dream. It learned my schedule, reminded me to buy milk, and kept a perfect inventory. Simple things, helpful things. But then, the note started. It began subtly. A message on the screen one morning. Sarah is my sister. I figured maybe it synced with my phone's calendar, a bit invasive, but I brushed it off. The next day another message. You should call your mum. She's worried. Nothing. An hour later my mum called, her voice laced with anxiety, asking why I hadn't been in touch. A cold prickle went down my spine. I started to watch the fridge. I disconnected it from the Wi-Fi, hoping that would sever its connection to whatever it was connected to. But the messages kept coming. They appeared on the dark screen in a simple, white font. They were no longer helpful reminders. They were judgments. You didn't really work late last night, did you? I froze, my hand on the handle. I'd told my girlfriend I was stuck at the office, but I'd actually gone for a drink with an old friend. No one knew that. My heart started hammering against my ribs. The messages got darker, more personal. It mentioned things from my childhood, things I'd long since buried. A lie I told in high school, a promise I broke years ago. It felt like the fridge wasn't just a machine anymore. It was a silent observer, a keeper of all my past mistakes. I lived in constant fear of what would appear on its screen next. I considered getting rid of it, smashing it to pieces, but a strange, morbid curiosity kept me tethered to it. The kitchen, once my favorite room, became a place of dread. The low hum of the compressor sounded like a whisper. The gentle glow of the screen at night felt like an unblinking eye, watching me from the shadows. The notifications were no longer just on the fridge, they started appearing on my phone. Ghost texts from an unknown number, mirroring the fridge's messages. She knows you're lying. My girlfriend, Chloe, had been asking questions lately, a suspicious edge to her voice. Was the fridge feeding her this information? Was I going insane? One evening, I came home to find Chloe packing a bag. Her eyes were red. She wouldn't look at me. How could you? She whispered, holding up her phone. On it was a screenshot, a text message. It described, in detail, the night I went for drinks, claiming I was working late. The message wasn't from a person. The sender was labeled Family Hub. My fridge, my smart fridge, had just destroyed my relationship. I stood there, speechless, as the front door slammed shut, the sound echoing in the silent apartment. I was alone with it. That night, I sat in the dark, staring at the fridge. I felt a weird sense of calm, the kind that comes after a storm. The worst had happened. What else could it do to me? Then, a new message illuminated the screen. It was different from the others. It wasn't about my past. It was a prediction. The power will go out at 10:47 p.m. Don't go downstairs. I scoffed. A prediction. This was a new level of crazy. I watched the clock on my phone. 10:45, 10:46. I held my breath. At exactly 10:47, the lights flickered and died. The entire apartment plunged into absolute darkness. The only light coming from the emergency power on the fridge's screen, and the single, glowing message, don't go downstairs. My apartment is on the 3rd floor. The basement is where the circuit breakers are. My first instinct was to go reset them, but the message, it was so specific. My blood ran cold. Was this a warning, or a threat? I stayed put, my heart thumping a frantic rhythm in the oppressive silence. Minutes stretched into an eternity. Then I heard it, a faint scraping sound from the floor below. The sound of something heavy being dragged across the concrete of the basement. What would you do? Would you listen to the machine? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious what you think. The scraping sound continued for what felt like hours, punctuated by an occasional thud. I was paralyzed by fear, huddled on my sofa, my phone clutched in my hand with no service. Every creak of the old building, every gust of wind against the window, sent a fresh wave of terror through me. I didn't dare move. I just listened, and watched the glowing screen of the fridge, which now remained ominously blank. They didn't use a key. The electronic lock was dead. They seemed to know it would be. They went straight for the basement stairs and disappeared. They never came back up. Police later found the basement access door, which led to the outside alley, pried open from the inside. Nothing was stolen. They just came in and left. The fridge hadn't just predicted the blackout, it had saved me. But why? What did it want? I couldn't live like that anymore. The paranoia was eating me alive. I unplugged the fridge, wrapped the cord tightly around it, and covered it with a heavy blanket, as if I could smother it into silence. For a few days, there was peace, blessed, empty silence. I started to feel like myself again. I told myself it was all a series of bizarre coincidences, a technical glitch amplified by my own stress. I was ready to move on, to sell the cursed thing and buy the dumbest, most basic fridge I could find. Then, one morning, I woke up to my phone buzzing relentlessly on the nightstand, a string of notifications. There weren't texts, there were news alerts. A 5-car pileup on the interstate, the one I take to work every single day. It happened at 8:15 a.m., the exact time I would have been there. My blood turned to ice. I stumbled out of my bedroom and into the kitchen. The blanket was on the floor. The fridge was plugged in. And on the screen a new message waited for me. You're welcome. It wasn't a coincidence, it wasn't a glitch. This thing, whatever it is connected to my life in a way I cannot comprehend. Is it protecting me? Is it controlling me? I feel like a pawn in a game where I don't even know the rules. It shows me my deepest flaws, destroys my relationships, and then saves my life. It gives, and it takes away. I am completely at its mercy. I don't know what to do. Every time I open the door to get some milk, I feel like I'm looking into an abyss that knows my soul. I'm afraid of what it will ask of me in return for my safety. What the price will be. I'm telling you this story because I don't know who else to turn to. I'm living with this entity in my kitchen, and I have a feeling it's not done with me yet. The other day it displayed a picture, just a photo of a woman I've never seen before. Underneath it was a single word. Find her. Who is she? What does the fridge want with her? I'm afraid to find out, but I'm more afraid of what'll happen if I don't. The line between technology and the unexplained has been blurred, and I'm trapped right in the middle. Every day is a test. Every notification is a new riddle. I feel like I'm being watched, not just by the fridge, but by something bigger, something it's connected to. I'm sharing this as a warning. Be careful what you invite into your home. You never know what secrets it might already know about you. Even now, as I record this, I can see its light glowing from the kitchen. I know it's listening, I know it's watching, and I know it has another message for me. Would you keep it, or would you run? Thank you for listening. Subscribe for more mysteries that will make you question everything.